What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at filter sweeps in Ableton, how you can set them up, some different ideas you can play with them, and just how to make your beats more interesting with filter sweeps. So if you're ready, let's jump right into it. Alright, so I'm going to play the intro of this song. This is where we're going to be adding the filter sweep to, just so you can get an idea of what we're dealing with. So first and foremost, you need to know what you're going to do your filter sweep on. Are you going to do it on your melodies? Are you going to do it on some white noise? Are you going to do it on some random noise that you have, maybe some crowd noise? You want to put it on something where it's going to be noticeable in the mix, but also that is going to serve a good purpose in your beat. You don't just want to add something for no reason. So the first way we're going to take a look at it is just adding a little filter effect on all of the melodies together at the beginning here. Okay, so for this we're going to use Ableton's auto filter here. Auto filter is really nice because it just gives you a clean little way to add little filters to your auto. So with the filter sweep, we either want to, right at the very end here, we either want to, oh, let's go back here. So maybe at the very end here, we'd either want to pull this all the way back so that it kind of drowns out right before the drop, or vice versa. We would want it to start out at the beginning. We want it to start off at the beginning like this and then slowly make its way in, and then you can finally hear all the highs and everything right before it drops. Or maybe it comes to like right here right before it drops, so it doesn't even reveal everything. So those are two different ways you can do it. So let's look at them both really quick. So for the filter sweep here, we got to make sure that we're selecting the right thing. So we're going to go into our sends panel right here, and if you're not seeing it, make sure you have these highlighted on the sides. One of those is correlating to it. So we're going to go here to the auto filter, since that's one of the plugins we got, and then we can look for a frequency. Boom. So you can see we can automate all this stuff. So you can automate pretty much everything on this little plugin that Ableton provides us. So picking frequency here, now we have the frequency bar. You can see it says 11.7, that's where it's at on here. So now we have full range to automate that as we go. So if we wanted to do the last one, you could highlight a section here, right click on the bar, and you could like tell it to import one of these shapes. So maybe we want to do something like this. Make this a little steeper. Alright, and maybe you make the effect a little more drastic. Alright, maybe that's a little too much, but you can see how you can tweak this and get a nice result. Alright, that sounds pretty good in my opinion. So that's one way that you could do this. So we could do it the opposite way as well. So, I mean, we could just straight up put another dot right here and go like that, but we're probably going to want to mess with it and play with it. So let's kind of listen to this and see how it sounds. Right, so right off the bat, we're not hearing anything. We probably want to hear a little something. So maybe we put it up, start it around maybe 300. Okay, so that sounds awesome, right? So you could go in here, you could press option and just, mess with this little dangly thing here. You could go ahead and, highlight that and pick what kind of a thing you want to do. You have free range over this to go ahead and make it perfect to your liking. So what if you didn't want to filter the melodies? What if you have like some white noise or something? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add an audio track and go find some white noise really quick. I'm going to use this rain sample here. Shout out to Cymatics. Okay, so you can get some cool effects doing it this way as well, and you can do it the same ways that we did before. And we could have it start at the bottom and go to the top. So that sounds kind of cool, but if we were really going to put some white noise or something, we probably want the opposite effect. And And then maybe right here we go back up. Awesome. So, you know, you could play around with this, do some shapes and stuff, but maybe like you don't want to draw it in by hand. Maybe that's not going to cut it for you. You know what I mean? Like maybe you just want more out of life. So if that happens to be you, there's another way we can do this. You can actually record yourself playing it. It'll draw it out for you. So you might have a MIDI keyboard, something like this, with some knobs on it. So you could program it to actually record when you're twisting the knobs. You could program it just you sitting with your mouse doing different things like that. Okay, you have lots of control over that. So let's look at how you can record that. So if you're going to record automation, the first thing you want to do is make sure none of the other tracks are armed. Otherwise, it's going to record over them. So we see this one. Boom. Let's just take that off. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is highlighted. So obviously that was pretty insane. You can see it went crazy on the automation here, but that's all you really do. Make sure your recording arm's not on, then press record with your track highlighted. You might want to make sure that you have auto filter and the one selected that you're going to be doing by hand or that you're going to be recording. Make sure you have that one on. So if we wanted to do resonance, we would go through and do resonance. Okay, so that's a bunch of different ways to do the filter. Now, obviously, we didn't talk about any of the other parameters. I just showed you the frequency and how to filter that. But you can do the same exact thing that I showed you with the frequency on any of these other knobs. So if you want to change the amount, the rate, you can do it all. All right, guys, this is going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And if you're new to the channel, bro, hit that subscribe button because we're uploading daily videos and you're not going to want to miss out on them. But besides that, I'll be catching you guys again in the next one. Peace!